may have heard this before, but rented accommodation at university is disgusting. Hey there guys, my name is Georgia. Welcome back to Lazzzy Student, where I provide you university content and lifestyle content every single week. So today I'm going to be doing a video which is a slightly different spin on the video I did 2 weeks ago, and this is going to be talking about the top 5 worst things about going to university. So if you're interested in that, please just keep on watching. One of the biggest cons about going to university is the fact that you are going to end up with no money. By the time you have ended up likely paying for your degree and then surviving off of little to no money from student loan companies, you are going to be broke. That's okay though, a lot of us are in this situation. Just make sure that you don't spend your first chunk of student loan payment on something silly like a guitar and end up living on pot noodles for the rest of the year. Make sure that you are trying to learn how to budget, and honestly, don't beat yourself up if you don't leave university with a huge amount of savings, because even with the best will in the world, a lot of graduates do find themselves in that position. You might need to get a job during university just to rack in a little bit of extra money. That is okay, but just make sure you're always focusing on your studies. Don't let your side hustle or your job take over. If uni really is where you want to be, make sure that that always takes top priority. Even if it means living off of smart price fruits and veggies and tins for a while, that's okay, because once you've got through uni, you've got your degree and you can get a good job from there. Now, speaking about money, this second point is the lack of money and the taking of money that all of these student rented accommodation places are going to take from you. You may have heard this before, but rented accommodation at university is disgusting. There will be mold, there will be cracks in the wall, there will be this weird smell all the time in the kitchen that you just can't pinpoint no matter how well you clean it. Not to mention, you will be paying hundreds of pounds for the privilege of living in a place like this. You will go out on a drunken night out and come back and wake up and wonder if you're in a prison cell. You're not, it's just student rented accommodation. If you guys are interested, I can make a whole video on how to avoid the pitfalls and the traps of student accommodation. Rented accommodation at university is a total minefield, and you do not want to end up with a stinky, disgusting, moldy flat, even if it is a bit of a rite of passage. Another con of university is that nowadays, is a degree even worth having? Now, ultimately, this is up to you to decide whether getting a degree is going to be worth it in the long run for you. Now, I know what I heard from my family, and they were just looking out for me. Getting a degree opens so many doors, and for some it really, really does, I'm sure. For me, getting a general politics degree, a humanities degree, it really didn't point me in any direction that I felt a calling to. Now, if you're going to university for the experience, or if you're going to university because you know you want to be a vet or a nurse or a lawyer or something that really, really needs a degree, then that's absolutely fine, and I completely commend you for having that set in your head. Just please don't think that you absolutely have to go to university and have to get a degree because that is the only way in the world that you will get a job. That simply isn't true. So many options other than just going to university to get a degree. If you're really not feeling university by the end of this video, make sure that you look into courses at college and where they can land you, or sometimes an apprenticeship is really what's best for someone. Make sure that you're not going to uni just because people are pushing you into it and just because you feel like you have to. There are so many other options there that I'll leave below so that you have a really good idea of the plethora of options available to you. Speaking about mental health at university is something that is definitely not talked about enough, and something which I really campaign for. I think it's so important to know that if you get to university, even though everyone tells you it's meant to be the time of your life, it isn't that way for everybody. A lot of people, more people than I think would care to admit, really struggle with their mental health at university. They struggle with anxiety and depression and feeling overwhelmed. You need to make sure that you have a great support network and coping mechanisms so that you can get yourself through what really is a pretty tough time, not just academically but socially, and for you as a person and becoming who you're going to be. Make sure that your university has some really good mental health awareness and counsellors and doctors and people that you can talk to if things do get really tough. The last thing I want to touch on about university sounds really obvious, but it actually isn't. And that's that university is really academic. This sounds like, oh sure, it's academic, we write essays and stuff. It's so much more than that. And if you really struggled with your A-levels or you just hated academia at school, you're probably not going to like university, and that is just the cold hard truth. University is really tough. It's not just the 9 a.m. lectures and the tens of essays you have to write every semester and the dissertation at the end and the presentations. It's just really tough because it's all self-led. If you had to have your parents forcing you to sit your exams and forcing you to study, no one's going to be there forcing you to do things. So before you go, make sure that this is something you genuinely want and academia is something that you can handle. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did and you want something a little lighter, please check out this video, which is the top 5 best things about university. And it really does give a sort of pros and cons list, if you will, and helps you weigh up whether university is for you. If you did like this video, please leave a like. Also, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. That would mean the world to me. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!